Hi there, thanks for joining me today. I'm Jackie, and in this video I'm going to answer one of my most frequently asked questions I get, which is how much sea glass do you need to complete a mosaic? So today I went on a beach hunt today with my husband and we found quite a bit of sea glass. So I'm going to show you what we found today at the beach, and I'm going to try to make a mosaic only using the sea glass that I found today because we've had a really productive day. And I hope you find it really interesting and you'll come along with me. It is an absolutely gorgeous day here today in Prince Edward Island. It is unseasonably warm. We've set some record high temperatures for today. It's like 20 degrees, little bit windy. The winds are gusting at like 27 kilometers, but it's still been a beautiful day at the beach. So we went for a beach walk. We were gone for about 3 hours, covered about 8.5 kilometers. So that gives you an idea of how long and how far we had to go to find this much sea glass. And I hope you enjoy coming along with me for this little adventure and seeing how I make out with creating something from only the sea glass I found on one beach hunt. Wow, what a day. We are over at the cottage. We have to close down for the season, which is always a sad time because it means the summer's over. It's November 10th. So we've done pretty good keeping the cottage open this late, but it's time to close it up. But we have been hit with an amazing day here today, and we're going to get down to the beach for a good long beach hunt. I'd rather be at the beach than cleaning the cottage anyway. So look at that, I've got a handful already. Not all days are created equal when it comes to sea glass hunting, and last night I came down right around sunset, didn't find a single piece, whereas today I've got a handful already. I think today's going to be a much better day for sea glass hunting. We'll see. It's absolutely gorgeous down here. It's really warm, windy, but oh my heavens, it's amazing for November. 3-hour beach walk. He's got all the sea glass in one pocket that he collected going down the beach. And then he's got a separate tray for all the sea glass that he collected on the way back. And he has to count it because he's been trying for a long time to beat me to find more pieces of sea glass than I found, and he hasn't succeeded yet. But he's thinking today might be the day because he found a lot of sea glass. You will notice his beverage of choice.
I still think I'm second.
I found quite a bit today too. And his beverage of choice during this sea glass counting expedition is beer.
A gluten-free Budweiser. This is the way down. That's the way back.
That's quite a bit of sea glass you got there.
Well, stay tuned. I will count them and get back to you.
So I don't always count how many pieces of sea glass I get, but today my husband wanted to count because he always tries to get more than me, and he didn't make it today. I found a few more than he did, but the other thing that we did today that we don't always do is we counted how many pieces we got on the way down the beach versus how many we got on the way back. And we got a lot of sea glass in one sea glass hunt. This is quite amazing. We found 257 pieces on the way down the beach and 252 on the way back. So here I have 509 pieces of sea glass. Plus I have some other treasures. I found a moon snail there. I picked up a few pebbles. I found a really cool piece of driftwood and a few little shells. So my challenge is, I found one blue piece, only one in all of this, but I found a lot of really large pieces of sea glass today. Well, my husband and I did together. So the challenge is how to take all the sea glass from one sea glass hunt and make a mosaic out of it. So stay tuned and I'll show you what I do with that. So I brought all my beach treasures home and I spread them out on this board, and I decided, okay, I have quite a bit here. Now I had to figure out what size frame do I need. I didn't want too small a frame because it's a fair amount of sea glass, but too big, and I'm not going to have enough sea glass to fill it in. So I had this frame. The glass in it is 7.5 inches wide and 19.5 inches long. Not too big, not too small, and I think I've got the right amount of sea glass that I'll be able to fill it in. So I have to decide on a design, and this is one of these designs where I don't know for sure what I'm going to do. I'm going to let the sea glass kind of define what I end up doing for my design. So the first thing I need to do is sort the sea glass. So I sorted my sea glass into brown, green, and white, and I put the brown at the bottom, green in the middle, white on top, because as I was sorting I decided I wanted to do an underwater scene that started dark at the bottom and got lighter as you go to the top, and the top is lighter because it represents the sun shining through the top of the water onto the bottom of the ocean. And I also sorted into, I have a few stones here and a little bit of aqua sea glass, some sea pottery. I had a couple of pieces of white milk glass as well. So as I was sorting, I decided I wanted to build a bit of a structure at the bottom of my underwater scene, and I came across a number of pieces that are somewhat straight-edged or squarish. This one here is quite square. It's the bottle bottom of a very small square bottle, which I thought was really cool. My husband found that piece. And I had a couple of green pieces that were somewhat squarish, and I thought it would help make a bit of a structure like an inukshuk, but a little bit of an abstracted inukshuk, not like my typical inukshuks, because I always put an inukshuk in my pieces, but sometimes I make them a little bit different. And I want to put my piece of driftwood that I found at the bottom and a couple of big brown pieces. And I have that one blue. I only found one blue, so I'm just going to set it on the glass, and I'm going to find a way to work that in as I go. And I wanted to put my moon snail at the bottom. I want the bottom to be kind of heavy because it's the bottom of the ocean. So I know I'm going to be putting a number of my really big, thick brown pieces down here. So I'll play around with those just to see how they fit. And then I wanted to do something with some of these larger greens. I'll sort out how I'm going to work those into the piece here. That's kind of a cool one right there. And these might make some neat little jellyfish or something swimming in the water. So I may do that with a few of these green ones. See how that works, because I do want it to be an underwater scene. And I also have some fairly large white pieces and quite a bit of small white pieces. I'm probably going to end up filling in the top with a lot of white. And I found this really cool purple shell. So that'll probably go somewhere. I might put that at the bottom because I want quite a bit going on at the bottom. And I have one rock that has a hole in it. The holy rocks, I call them, hagstones. So the holy rocks are a sign of good luck, so I want to put that at the bottom. And I might layer some stuff down here just to add some interest. This is a really cool rock with some etching on it. Not really etching, it's more like strings of quartz going through the sandstone, which is really cool. And I have a couple more white rocks. Might find a spot for those as well. So I'll get busy and start gluing this on and figure out how it's going to go. I found one lavender piece and a number of aqua pieces. And I'll figure out something to do with some of this pottery as well. So there you have it. That's how much sea glass it takes to complete a sea glass mosaic. And full disclosure, I really was thinking I might run short on some of my colors, but as you can see, I have quite a little pile of brown left. Just a few pieces of green. I used most of my green. These pieces just didn't fit with the design. Oh, quite a bit of white left. So I'm quite impressed with how I was able to take all these pieces and still have tons left over. And I do have a handful of throwbacks. That always happens when I'm looking through sea glass. Once I get working on a mosaic, I often come up with quite a few pieces that are just too sharp, not soft and nicely finished. So I'll put those in the bag to throw back at the beach. So just to show you a little bit of a close-up on my design, I'll zoom in here to the bottom. I've used quite a bit of brown in the bottom just to make it heavier. This is the bottom of the sea. So you're going to see a lot of brown with the sand and whatnot. And I put that kind of abstract inukshuk in there. Some shells and rocks, just to add some interest. And then I have these three big things of kelp growing up from the bottom. Have a bit of an abstract fish there, some white and aqua, and a few pieces of white pottery just to make the water flowing kind of interesting. Then I have those three jellyfish floating near the top. And the pieces of sea glass are much bigger and heavier at the top than towards the middle and the bottom of the ocean. And that just adds a little bit more dimension, showing that the water is clearer. When you're underneath the water, it's clearer at the top than it is towards the bottom. So, thanks very much for joining me. I hope you found this an interesting adventure, and it gave you some good ideas of things to do in your own sea glass mosaic art. So until next time, happy sea glass hunting!